Hello, hello, hello. Karen Rockhind here, your life purpose coach. Let me flip around the camera. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, live from Sonoma. I've got my glass of wine. It's beautiful and sunny here. Ooh, hearts for a glass of wine, I'm telling you. Hearts if you have a glass of wine right now, and if you don't, you should join me because here I am in Sonoma, California. And I actually am at the Roach Winery, and just going up to get a glass of wine, I met two incredible women who are struggling with this question and struggling with the question of what now? You know, one is 47, one just turned 50, and they've raised their children. They've had careers. One is going through a divorce, and she's said, what now? And it really inspired me to do this podcast. And this podcast is all about 5 things that women in their 40s and early 50s need to know in order to be happy. So first, let me see some hearts if you are in, let's start with if you are in your mid to late 30s. Hearts if you're in your mid to late 30s. Any hearts, mid to late 30s? Okay, I'm seeing some hearts, I love it. Give me some hearts if you are in your 40s. Hearts if you are in your 40s. Anyone here on their 40s? I love it. Seeing the pink hearts come through, 40s, 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 40s. Oh, green, blue. I love all the different colors. Okay, now give me some hearts if you are in your 50s. Give me some hearts, lots of 40s going on. Give me some hearts if you are in your 50s. Oh, 29, you know what? We'll take it for 29. So here's the deal. The tips I'm gonna give you actually are applicable to any age. So give some hearts for the woman who is 29 and joined this cast. Yeah, give her some hearts. I love it. I mean, here's the deal. Whether you're 29 or you're 39 or you're 49, you're facing a transition. And even though it's just a number, transitioning from one decade to the next really does create an emotional, a psychological challenge for us. Because there are expectations that are set from the time that you were a little girl or a little boy. There are expectations set of where you're supposed to be in your 20s. You're supposed to be, in a career and rising in your career. You're supposed to be meeting a partner. Expectations set of where you're supposed to be in your 30s. You're supposed to have a certain level of bank account. You're supposed to be buying a home. And these are not my supposed tos, by the way. This is like society and what we've heard our whole lives. And when you're in your 40s, you're supposed to have it figured out. You're supposed to no longer care what other people think. You're supposed to be maybe buying a vacation home, right? So give hearts if you were given some sort of societal message about where you were supposed to be by your age. Yeah, thanks for all the hearts. At 41, the message that was given to me is that by my age, I was supposed to have a husband. We were supposed to have a big house somewhere in the burbs. We were supposed to have 2 children, 2.4 children. I always thought I wanted 3. Definitely, I was supposed to be making $150,000 and working in some sort of corporate job with a nice title. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. The challenge is when we think that we're supposed to be doing something as opposed to what we really want to be doing. And when I turned 40 last year, I suddenly started getting all these emails from women who I hadn't talked to since we were little girls. So either girls, I was in summer camp with who were now 42 or, was in a sorority with and they were now 40. And all of these women kept saying to me, I've been following what you do on Facebook, and I don't know if it's because I'm turning 40, but ... I don't know if it's because I'm 45, but ... And each of the ... stories was a story of heartbreak. So one woman told me how she was just going through a divorce and her whole life was shattered. And in fact, I don't know how many of you are divorced and it really shook your life up and you're like, this was not how life was supposed to be, right? Hearts for that, not hearts for your divorce, but life was not supposed to be like that. Another woman said, I've had this job, very high-ranking job for 10 years and I was supposed to be here for 30 years, but I'm miserable. Is this it? Is this all there is to life? So, how many of you have had that experience where you've been in some sort of job or some sort of career and you're like, is this it? This isn't what it was cracked up to be. Yeah, so give me some hearts if that is your situation. Or another woman, a girlfriend who I met for dinner last year in New York. We had both just turned 40 and she's like, I just lay awake at night And I wonder if I'll ever fulfill that dream of being a writer. Like, I've wanted to be a writer, and I knew her. We were in high school together. She's always wanted to be a writer. And she's like, I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old. Maybe my dreams will never happen. So has that ever happened to you? You know, where you just thought your dreams were never going to happen, and you're thinking, I'm too late. I'm too old. It's too late. You know, so I don't know if that's ever happened to you. What I can tell you is I was in my mid-30s when I had all of those questions, because I had followed the perfect marriage and I had followed the perfect life, and I got divorced because it didn't fill me up. And I had a great career and a VP title, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and went through, honestly, my midlife quote-unquote crisis when I was in my mid-30s. And what I realized then is that it's not a midlife crisis. Rather, midlife, even though I don't feel like I'm midlife, like, hello, I don't feel like I'm midlife. Midlife doesn't need to be a crisis. Midlife is a catalyst. Midlife is a catalyst. So if you are 29, you are 39, you are 49, wherever you are, this is a catalyst for you to truly, finally stop all the shoulds, shed all of what everybody else is telling you, and make this a catalyst for you to live your dreams, for you to go for what you want. You have taken care of everybody else. And so I wanted to, from this winery, since I just met these two amazing women, I'm periscoping on this in 5 minutes. 5 things that women in their 40s need to know, and this will help you whether you're in your 20s or 30s or whatever. So number 1, it begins inside. Happiness is an inside job. And many of you know I have my master's degree in the science of happiness. And what so often happens is that you're looking for happiness everywhere, right? Like the woman I just met, she's going through a divorce, and she thought she was unhappy because her husband made her unhappy. So she left her husband and then went into another relationship, and then that guy didn't make her happy. And so she moved cities, right? Well, maybe if I move cities, that will make me happy. She moved cities, met another guy, and that guy didn't make her happy. And so it was always this external thing, right? So like for you, like message me, what are the external things that you think are going to make you happy? It's actually, in psychology, we have a word for it. It's called the hedonic treadmill. It's like the if only. We keep thinking of these things that are pleasurable, and if only I get more money, if only I get a bigger house, if only I can buy the fancy shoes or whatever it might be. Nothing on the external is happiness. Happiness is an inside job. And what that means is it is all about getting to know who are you at your core. What is your true essence? What is your true nature? What lights you up? What brings you joy? What is your heartbreak? What are the things that you are most passionate about? Where are your favorite spots to be? Who are the people who you love? Who are the people who inspire you? Who are the people who drain you? What are the topics that you're interested in studying? And I'm not saying you have to know all this now, but it is an inside job, and it begins with knowing you. And here's the deal. I see this especially with women in their 40s and 50s. You have forgotten who you are. You've lost it, and it makes sense because who you are has gotten covered up by everybody else's expectations, by your kids, by your partner, from your parents and teachers when you were 10. Like one of my clients actually lost who she was when she was in 2nd grade because she spoke up in class, and the teacher was like, you aren't supposed to speak up out of turn. And from that moment, just shut up. So of course you are lost. It is like you've been covered up. So it is an inside job. That is the first thing that you must know in order to be happy. It begins with you getting to know you and uncovering all those layers of dirt. Number 2, thanks for the hearts. Just keep the hearts coming. Number 2, if you are thinking, I wish I hadn't married that guy, or why did I move to that town, or why didn't I start this graduate program earlier, or if I had just become a nurse, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have to go back to school, now it's too late. All of those shoulds of regret, ask yourself, are they helping you or are they hurting you? Because regret is like the worst emotion in the entire world, because there is nothing you can do about it. You can do something about pretty much every other emotion, or many of them, but you cannot do anything about regret. So the number 2 key to happiness in your 40s, or actually whatever age, is realizing that every step of your life, every single step has been necessary for you to get where you are and for you to get where you're going. Let me repeat that, and thanks for the hearts. Every step of your life has been necessary, has been critical for you to be where you are and for you to move forward. There is a reason you didn't start graduate school 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you weren't maybe mentally ready for it. 5 years ago, you weren't financially capable to do it. 5 years ago, you didn't have the heart and the brilliance 5 years ago. Or maybe there's somebody in the class now that you're meant to meet who's going to give you the job. Or maybe there's someone in your class who's going to become your best friend. You must see that whatever you're doing right now, you are meant to be doing right now. No more looking backwards, that you should have. So that is the number 2 key to being happy now, is realizing that every single step, every trauma, every trial, every triumph, every situation has been absolutely necessary for you to get where you are and for you to move forward. And the key is, instead of regretting what you should have done or shouldn't have done, the key is to take every situation of your life and flip it into a beautiful opportunity for wisdom. Wisdom of why you're going to school now. Wisdom for why why did you go for all those relationships? So you turn it into wisdom now. I went for all those relationships because I needed to learn once and for all that happiness is inside. And so that was all necessary for me to move forward. So you must realize that every step has gotten you here, and that is how you're going to move forward. Number 3, there's still time. This is the best. Like, I'm 41, I'm not dead. You're 50, you're not dead. Or you're 29, you're not dead. Like, there's so much time. I love this. I was listening to a broadcast from Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way, and she was talking to a woman who wanted to take piano lessons, and the woman was like, I can't take piano lessons because, do you know how long? Like, it will take me years. By the time I learn piano, it'll be 5 years from now or whatever it was. And Julia Cameron said to her, well, how old are you going to be if you don't take piano lessons, right? So God willing, you're still going to keep getting older and growing, and like the alternative is dying. And so there is still time. And the best thing is that we have more and more and more tools to live longer, healthier lives. Like with exercise and great diet and taking care of yourselves and surrounding yourself with people you love and living your purpose, people are happily, healthily living into their 80s and their 90s. So you know what? You've got so much time. You've got so much time. So instead of looking at like you're running out of time, you must look at the time ahead of you. I'm 41. I figure I've got another good, at least 40 years of doing this great work of empowering you. 40 years, that's how many books I could write. 40 years, that's how many speeches I can give. 40 years, that's how many people I can impact with my radio show and with these broadcasts. I've got time, and so do you. So that is your third thing you must realize to be happy. Number 4, to be a good friend, a good mother, a good father, a good partner, a good wife, a good worker, you must follow your dreams. You must follow your dreams. Because let me ask you this. Any of you who are parents, what do you want for your kids? You want them to be happy, I'm sure, right? You want them to know that they can do anything, that they can follow their dreams, that they can go for it. They have to see you doing it too. You can't say to them, you can be anything you want. You can follow your dreams. Go for like learning the guitar. But then they see you every day miserable going to work because, you have to. So even though we all need money to live in this society and to have our glass of wine, like I need here, you have to be following your dreams on the side. Your kids have to see that. Not to mention that what happens is when you start following your dreams, you are happier. Literally, positivity ignites your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that makes you better trusting, better relationships, higher creativity, higher problem solving. So you must follow your dreams. And in fact, people who think that taking care of yourself is selfish, taking care of yourself is actually selfless, or self-everybody. Because as you start taking care of yourself, you better take care of everyone else. It's like a car. When a car is running on empty, it doesn't go anywhere. When a car has full gas, then it can go all the way, baby. You cannot give from the reserves. You must fill your tank first. So you have to be going after your dreams, and that is the 4th step to being happy. Thanks for the hearts. I love it. I'd love to hear your dreams. And number 5, the last thing that you need to know in order to be happy in your 40s, your 50s, your 30s, I don't care, is that it begins with a commitment. It begins with a commitment. You must commit to yourself. So any of you who have ever been married, you've made a commitment to somebody else. You vowed, I will love you forever and ever. I vow to, support you when you're sick. I vow to be a good partner to you during good times and bad times. What vow have you made to yourself? You must commit to yourself that you are going to take care of you. You must commit to yourself that you are going to go for your dreams. You must vow to yourself that no matter what, you are going to do the other first 4 steps. It begins with a commitment. It begins with a vow. It begins with that vow now and today. So those are the 5 steps to being happy in your 40s. And if you want more, I am running it's absolutely free webinar series right now called F Midlife. Yep, F as in you know what, fmidlife.com. fmidlife.com, so that we can all say F Midlife and become the fabulous, free, fiercely in control woman that we were born to be. Join me. We had our first call last night. It was awesome. By registering at fmidlife.com, you will still get last night's recording, and then you can join the next 2. And you want to make sure you join because I'm offering on those calls a amazing discounted offer to work with me personally, specifically for women from 35 to 50 to get on your path, work with me specifically to do so. So fmidlife.com, free series. It's fun, it's fabulous, and we're going to put these tools to use. So for now, I hope you have a beautiful day. May you live purposefully. May you love yourself. And may you love life. I am off back to Roach Winery to drink my wine. Bye for now, my loves.